At ETRO, all orders for small tools, consumables, and large equipment go through our secondary group called Commerce Court. Our IT group was unable to find an existing product on the market that could do everything that this group needed, so we've developed our own internal software in order to manage these orders and deliveries. Please join my friend Amal as she takes us through how this works. Enjoy this session of ETRO University.
To start requesting items from the CCEC app, you go to Google Chrome and click on ETRO Toolbox. And then on this list, you will see CCEC order form. When you click on it, it will take you to the first page of the app, which is the item request form. So this is what the order form looks like. We have a project dropdown and two tables, one for adding items and another one for reviewing them before placing your order. So let's start with an example. Let's say I want to request items for UBC rec. So I choose my project and then I start adding items. Let's say I want to request 2 plywood sheets. So what I do is I type a keyword about that item. It will filter the long list of items for me and I will choose the correct one. And then here I will type 2. I choose the delivery date that I want, the 18th of November. And then if you notice here, you can see that the cost code is auto-populated for me when I chose the item. I can either keep that one or change it to a more appropriate one from this list. In my case, I'm going to keep it as it is. And in notes, you will be able to add any info or hints that might help the procurement team find the item that you're looking for. Once happy, you click Add to Order and you will see the item here in the second table. Let's say now I want to add another item, for example, air compressor. So I do the same thing, choose the correct item. I want 1, so I keep that as 1. And then choose the delivery date, keep the cost code, and click Add to Order. Okay, another item that I might want is the arrow signs, and this time I want 4, so I can type 4, delivery date, and then Add to Order. Let's say, for example, now you want to add an item, but you can't find it on this list. For example, printer cable. So I can keep that name. I can add the quantity, the delivery date as normal, and then choose an appropriate cost code, for example, small tools and consumables. And in notes, I might add something that might help them pick the right cable for me. So in my case, I can add the type of printer that I have at site. So I can add that there, click Add to Order, and it will show in this table. So once I'm done with adding all my items, I can come here and check all the items I have. If I don't need an item anymore, I can just click on the red sign here to delete it. And then once I'm happy, I can click Place Order and it will send my request. So once my request is sent, I will be able to see all the items that were not available in the warehouse and need to be purchased. For example, the arrow signs, we requested 4, but only 2 were available in the warehouse. And the printer cable was not available, so we need to purchase it as well. Let's say now that after placing your order, you want to make changes to it. You can do that using the pending orders page. So if you click on orders here, it will take you to this page where you can see all your pending orders. You can filter the list by project, by tool name, by request type, and delivery date. So let's check UBC. So as you can see here, it filtered the table and we can see all the requests that were sent for UBC rec. There are many things that you can do on this page. You can edit the quantity, date, and notes of anything that is sent to be purchased. And you can set the things that were sent to collection to delivered once you receive them. Let's say, for example, I want to change the quantity of the arrow signs from 2 to 1. So I only want 1 to be purchased instead of 2. And I want to change the delivery date to be the 11th of November. I can do that. I can also add notes if I want. And another thing you can do is delete a request. So for example, I happen to find a printer cable somewhere on site. So I want to delete this one because I don't need it anymore. I can just go to the bin icon and click on it. Once I'm done, I click save and it will save my changes. So as you can see now, we have 1 arrow sign to be purchased instead of 2, and we have a different delivery date. And also the printer cable disappeared from the list. Another feature that you can use on the pending orders form is the chat feature. You can use it to send messages to the procurement team, to inquire about a product, or to give them more information about the item that you requested. Let's say, for example, you requested an air compressor to be delivered on the 15th of November, but you need it as soon as possible. You can send the procurement team a message to tell them that. What you do is you click on the chat icon and you type their message. Once done, you click send. And it will send your message with the item name, who requested it, and the order ID, and the site that requested it. CEC chat threads channel will have messages from all sites and all members of the procurement team. So if you cannot find your message here, you can look for it using the order ID, which you can find in the pending orders page. So if you look here, the air compressor has the ID 3386. So if we go anywhere on flag and then come to the search bar and type 3386, click search messages, you will be able to find your thread and any replies that were sent to you. So after your order is sent, the procurement team will need to process that order by purchasing any items that need to be purchased and delivering the items to your site. After your items were delivered to your site, you will not be able to see them in pending orders anymore. But what you can do at this point is check which tools you have rented at site. To do that, you just click on Site Tools at the top. This is where you're going to see all the items that you have rented at your site right now and all the items that you rented before. So you can check your VC here. We can see that the first item is the air compressor that we requested earlier with a quantity 1 and a delivery date of the 8th of November. The reason we cannot see the other items that were delivered is because they are not considered tools, so they are not rented and won't be seen on this list. Now, let's say you've used the air compressor for a few weeks and then you decide to return it because you don't need it anymore. There are 2 ways of doing that, and one of them is using site tools. So you just go and look for the item you want to return and click on the return checkbox associated with it. You can do that for more items as well to return them at the same time. Another thing you can do is a partial return. So for example, here we have 10 safety blankets and we want to return 5. So what you do is you click the checkbox and then click on info and change the quantity here to 5. However, you cannot increase the quantity to more than 10. So for example, if we try 11, it will error. That's because you cannot return more than what you have outside. So in my case, I only want to return the air compressor. So I check it and click return tools. Once the delivery team collects the air compressor from your site and they set it as returned, you will be able to see the return date on site tools. Another way you can return items or tools is using the order form. So you'd select your project as usual, and then choose return and the type. When you click on item, you will see a list of all the tools that you have rented at site. So you look for your tool, let's say sawhorse, for example. You choose it. If your item has a QR code, it has to be selected. So if you click here, you will see a drop down of all the QR codes that you have for the item. If it doesn't have a QR code, you can either leave this blank or choose no ID when it comes up. So we choose this one, for example, and then we choose the delivery date and we click add to order. And then once happy, we click place order. Once the item is collected from your site, if you come here to Site Tools and search for it, you will see that it was already set as returned.
All actions, all requests, all orders, all cancellation, all changes are being logged in a log that we have in Sheets, so we don't lose the information. And if there's any issue, we can go back to the log and see what happened and everything. The next steps. Okay, so the idea here is to define a new framework, development framework. So what database are we going to use? What code language are we going to use to build our application from now on? And as soon as that is defined, we are going to start upgrading our application to a new version with maybe SQL at the end and HTML pages, and you will see a way faster application. Okay, and we also going to add new functionality as tool maintenance, safety reports, get the chat better, and some reports so Kyle and management can have more information about the tools and the habit that we use them. So everything starts tomorrow. So from tomorrow on, the idea is not using the centralized purchase sheet anymore and coming to ETRO toolbox and selecting the CC order form and start requesting all the tools or consumables that you need from the order form. Okay. Before I finish, I just want to add one more thing here. Let me stop sharing this tab. And let me share. I want to share this. Okay. So just wanted to reinforce what Amal informed to you guys. So in the chat thread channel, Slack channel, you're going to find a lot of chat that the application will be using. So in order to get this organized, what I would like is to try to keep the chat always, sorry. So where are you? So the idea here is to because this is deleted. I don't know why it's deleted, but the idea here is to keep always the thread inside the replies. So if we need to reply for any of this thread, please reply it, creating a new thread. This way, all the communication, all the chat for that specific order will be together in the thread. Okay. This way, it's easier to see all the history of what happened to that order. I think this is the end of our presentation. Do you guys have any questions? Kai, do you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Amal and Marcelo, for all your effort. This has been a huge program to build, and I appreciate all your help with it. I think if any questions come up, probably best to reach out to me directly. Mike and Dylan are going to be learning our side of things, the warehouse side of things, over the next week or so. But I'll probably be the best resource because I've been working with it for the past month or so, filling in all the previous orders from the last 2 months. So reach out to me if you have questions.
Okay. So thank you for all. Thank you for the presence of everybody. And if you have any issue, please let Kyle know, and we'll fix it as soon as possible.
All right. Looks good.